our first video back, I thought we'd look at Ubisoft's newly revealed Skull and Bones pirate game, which they've been mentioning for quite some time. It looks pretty, or the thought of it sounded pretty awesome. It's kind of Ubisoft is, of course, the studio that brought us Rainbow Six, For Honor, Splinter Cell, all them games. They it's a good studio. I really like a lot of the games that they put out, especially Rainbow Six Siege and Rainbow Six Extraction. For Honor, some of my favorite games. So I really like Ubisoft. So I was excited to see what they. Oh, of course, Assassin's Creed series also, and that's kind of where they started the idea. The concept for this game was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So then they decided that they would make kind of a standalone pirate type game, and out of that was born this Skull and Bones game. So, but then like I said, they announced it a while ago, and it's been put on the back burner and delayed, and this and that. So finally, they put out today the reveal, like the deep dive for it. So we're gonna kind of just break that down and look at it and see if this is going to be something that we're going to get into this fall when it comes out. The release date November 6th or the 8th, I believe. So a lot of games coming out this fall, a lot of good games that we're going to be talking about in other videos. So there's a lot of competition for what we're going to be playing this fall. So let's see if this is going to make the cut. All right. So yeah, let's get into Skull and Bones and let's see what Ubisoft has in store for us.
Welcome to Skull and Bones. Our game takes place during the golden age of piracy, in a world inspired by the beautiful yet dangerous Indian Ocean.
So immediately going in, you see like how gorgeous this game looks, the environment, the ship design. It looks amazing to me just from these shots here. It looks like it's gonna be one of those really good looking games, and I think I find myself to be a little overly critical of the way games look. I think this looks pretty good. The ships look awesome so far, and they look very different, and that's gonna be a big part of replayability and just how much you can customize and how different your ship can look versus somebody else's.
You'll start your journey as an outcast, whose goal is to become the most infamous pirate to sail these treacherous waters. After surviving a shipwreck, you begin your adventure in St. Anne, one of the pirate dens in our world. Dens are centers of pirate activity, where you can craft new ships and equipment, provision for your expeditions at sea, pick up contracts, and socialize with other players.
So you can already see this is actually going to have a lot more RPG elements than I thought it would. I thought it'd be just mostly taking place on the ship. When I originally heard about this, but seeing this now, it's going to be, there's crafting. They just talked about, the provisions, and that there's going to be these pirate towns essentially that you can find, unlock, and then go to gear up to go back out on the ocean. So it's definitely a lot more RPG heavy than I thought it would be, which there ain't nothing wrong with that. More customization the better. So that's kind of a nice surprise.
Other players. Any pirate worth their salt will tell you that preparation is key to success. Get ready for any challenges that come your way by checking that your cargo is stocked with items like food and ammunition. All
right, so just the fact that you need food and ammunition goes to show that the battles it's not going to be unlimited ammo where you just keep going. You're going to have the resources to sustain a fight. Ammo, cannonballs, I'm sure different kind of ammo depending on the weapons you're using. So it's not going to be just a free for all, use all you want. And also the fact that you need food goes to show that there's going to be some level of gauge for sustainability of your crew while you're out there too. It's so it's going to be more leaning into that RPG type element of maintaining your crew. There may be some sort of meter for how happy they are and things like that. So definitely some more mechanics and a little bit more that you have to think about versus whether it's not just run out there and sink the first ship you see, which let's face it, I'm gonna sink the first fucking ship I see. But it's not just that. Apparently it's you got to maintain your ship too. And so I'm happy to see more mechanics that have to do with maintaining your ship, because that's going to be more to juggle, and that's just going to make for a more in-depth and engaging game.
You're set. It's time to head out and explore. As a rookie pirate, you'll only have access to a small dhow. But as you progress, you'll be able to craft different ships, each with their own unique playstyle. At sea, you'll need to pay close attention to the condition of your ship and the morale of your crew. Your crew are a pack of vicious raiders and rovers who will mutiny against you if not kept well-fed and happy.
See, and that's what we were just talking about. So apparently, like I said, if you can't keep them happy, they could mutiny. And I also noticed, it's going to go between third person and first person. Third person is showed, walking around in the town, and then it looks like it's going to be first person whenever you're on the ship. So that'll be pretty interesting. But got to keep your crew happy, or they will rise up and take that shit from you.
If your ship sinks, you'll lose some progress and respawn at the nearest discovered den or outpost. The good news is that most of your cargo will be recovered, and you'll have the opportunity to retrieve the rest from the wreckage. But you'd better be quick, as other players can also steal it.
All right, so it looks like that's how the death mechanic is going to work. Your ship gets sunk, and then you just respawn at the nearest pirate town, basically, that you have discovered already, and you're going to lose a certain percentage of progress, experience, and a certain amount of your loot. And then you're probably going to have a timer to get back to where your ship was sunk at before the other players can actually scavenge your loot and steal it from you. So there's going to be so there is that mechanic of, it's almost like Rainbow Six Extraction, where you die, you lose progress unless you get your operator back. It's kind of like that. You die, you lose progress, but you can get your stuff back if you can do it quick enough in that next run. So it's a similar mechanic that Ubisoft has used before, and it should be a lot of fun. And I like the fact that you don't just automatically lose everything. You have a chance to get your stuff back. If you're good enough, if you're quick enough, if you're smart enough, you can get your stuff back. So I like that. Always a fan of a second chance.
Can also steal it. As a pirate captain, your reputation is everything, and our game tracks this through infamy. The higher your infamy, the more opportunities you'll get. One of the many ways to grow your infamy is to take up contracts. These are deals that you can make with other pirates in the world. Contracts can have great rewards if you're successful, or costs if you fail. You can also gain infamy by completing other activities, such as exploration, plundering, treasure hunts, investigations, dynamic events, and much more.
All right, so it looks like the main type of experience, what you're going to be trying to get, is what they're calling infamy. And as you can see going through the menu, all the things that you can unlock once you get your infamy higher and higher, you can upgrade and unlock different things that are going to make your pirating easier and more fun, I'm sure. Lots of ways to get infamy, as we can see, doing contracts and stuff. So your standard, doing missions will gain infamy. But I like that they've also included like treasure hunts. That could be a lot of fun. And so when you go treasure hunting, you go looting and stuff, there's always the opportunity for other players to sink your ship and steal your loot. So that's always a concern. When you're out there, you want to get as much as you can, but it's high risk and high reward. That's the pirate's life.
You can undertake these either solo or with other players. The world of Skull and Bones is filled with riches and resources that you'll be able to gather as you explore. Lagoons and rivers are teeming with dangerous wildlife that you can hunt for animal skins and meat. You'll also be able to harvest a variety of raw materials, such as ore and wood, that can be refined and used for crafting.
So here we see more of that survival RPG aspect, where you're hunting wildlife, trying to get meat and skins, for food, and also collecting raw resources, chopping down trees and things like that. I'm kind of glad that you don't have to get out of your ship and get on land and then get an axe out and do all that. That seems like it's a bit much, and it kind of takes you out of the game a little bit and kind of makes it into a different kind of game, almost like arc or something like that. So I'm glad you don't have to like actually do that. You can just kind of do it from your ship. If you just pull up close to like land, you can chop down trees and for wood and things like that. So I do appreciate that that's a little bit more streamlined, but there's definitely going to be this resource grind of collecting resources and hunting, alligators and different animals for food. So there's going to be some grind into this and some resource collection. So be expecting that.
Is an essential activity for you to progress as an infamous pirate. Obtain blueprints and use your refined resources to craft stronger ships, weapons, and armors. In Skull and Bones, ships serve many different purposes. Cargo ships are slower, but useful if you need to transport large volumes of loot. Navigation ships sail faster, but have less cargo space.
Again, I just want to say how amazing these ships look to me. Like they look really, really good. I'm pretty excited just at how good this game looks. Wow, these ships they look very realistic and they look amazing. Like I'm really happy that they've taken this time of setbacks and delays and whatever else to make sure that this game does look good, because I love a good looking game.
And lower hull HP. Firepower ships have more gun ports, allowing you to deal higher damage, but are more challenging to maneuver. Similarly, you can craft a wide array of unique weapons and armors, from Greek fires to giant ballistae to rocket launchers and mortars.
Wow, look at the cannon on the front of that damn ship. Like that's what I'm talking about. All these little side cannons and everything, that's nice. But when I'm hunting your ass down, I want that on the front of my ship, and or we're making it rain. Wow, that's crazy. So we have flamethrowers, we have mortars, rocket launchers. Like this is about to be lit right now. Like on the ship to ship fighting with rocket launchers and flamethrowers. This Greek fire. Oh wow, this is crazy. I can't wait. I cannot wait to upgrade these weapons and have some badass. These fights are going to be pretty epic.
As well as different armor types, which have varying strengths and weaknesses against incoming attacks. With your new fleet and growing arsenal, create a loadout based on your personal playstyle to become a force of destruction. Out in the open ocean, opportunities and threats are abundant. Use your spyglass to identify lucrative trade routes or wealthy merchant ships and assess your prey's cargo and firepower. Strategize a plan of attack based on your opponent's defenses and take advantage of their weak points to deal more damage. Sinking your foes from afar rewards you with only a portion of their cargo, as some of it will be lost to the depths. Getting in close to execute a boarding maneuver will help maximize your gains.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I like what they just said right there. So ships are going to have weak points. So knowing your enemy's weak points, where to strike, that's going to help you take them down faster. So I love that, a little bit of game knowledge helps you, it's not just who has the better weapon or who does the most damage, who has the weapon that does the most damage. It's also who knows how to maneuver their ship better to get to a better weak spot to take down their opponents better. So it's a little bit of battle knowledge, and I like that it's not just a slugfest. There's some strategy to it also, and then you have the risk for reward when you have the long range versus the close range. Long range, yeah, you can take them down. You're safe. It's a safer way, but you're going to lose some loot doing it. But you can get right up next to them, get that boarding party going, get on their ship. That's gonna be my way to do it. And then you get more of the rewards, so you can sink them and take what you can get, or you can jump on their ship, take it over, and take it all. And that sounds like the way to go.
But beware, you can turn from predator to prey in a heartbeat if you attract the unwanted attention of privateers, the merciless pirate hunters that patrol the seas. If you enjoy the thrill of the hunt, you can also seek out other players and rain terror on them. Such PvP battles are high-stakes activities that can be rewarding if you emerge victorious.
So So there we have it. There's going to be these privateers, these AI controlled, basically pirate hunters that are coming after you. So I'm sure they're going to be very well armored and very well armed, and it's not going to be something you probably want to take lightly. So you might want to avoid them at first, until you're leveled up before you attempt that. But what we have is also our first mention. We got our PvP. So from what I understand, is going to be the server is going to be a PvP server. So it's going to be, you can choose if you want to do a PvP VE server or just a regular PvE server. I'm of course going to choose PvP because why not? Gotta take down some other people when you do this. That's what makes this type of game fun. So it's gonna be your choice whether you want to have that risk or not. But if you're like me and you're ready to go, it's gonna be PvP all the way, and I'm gonna be coming after you.
From your spoils of battle, personalize your individual look with outfits that command respect.
All right, we got more customization of your actual pirate, it looks like. Your clothes, your hat, your look and everything. So that's kind of cool too. More RPG, like I said before, the more customization, the better. Let us be the pirate we want to be. Ubisoft, don't take this away from us. Let us be the pirate. And we all have Johnny Depp Pirates of the Caribbean kind of aspirations, I think, deep down inside. So this is going to let us experience that a lot. I'm just where the rum at, Ubisoft. I need some rum because that's the pirate's life.
You can also select from a multitude of ship customization options to instill fear.
Wow, that's pretty awesome. Like, not only do you customize yourself, you customize everything about your ship. Did you see the front of that ship that they just showed with like the skeleton on the front? Like that's pretty awesome. That looks pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. That got me a little bit more excited.
In your enemies. With the wind in your sails, journey to the furthest reaches of the Indian Ocean, from the coast of Africa to the East Indies. Encounter extreme weather events like violent storms and monstrous rogue waves.
All right, looks like they've added dynamic weather events also. A lot of games are doing this now. More immersive. It's a lot more fun. Just a little something extra to deal with. And it looks like being at sea when this shit happens, it's going to be a lot to deal with that huge wave and these storms and everything, especially if you're trying to fight somebody during one of these weather events. Whew. If their cannons don't take you down, the ocean might.
Keep your eyes peeled for outposts, which are safe spots where you'll be able to dock your ship for a short rest from the perilous seas. Here, you can trade with traveling merchants and clandestine smugglers selling rare and illegal goods.
All right, looks like we also have outposts in addition to the little pirate towns that you can go to, where you can find merchants that sell more rare items and illegal items. So you find those, you can get a short rest, re-up on your supplies real quick, and also you'll find probably some of the rare merchant loot at these versus just the normal pirate towns that you'll be unlocking and going to.
Uncover buried bounties at outposts as you decipher treasure maps obtained through your voyages.
So I also have to say, with these treasure maps, like, I'm pretty excited about that too. Because, I mean, that's the quintessential pirate thing, besides plundering and looting and, being a pirate, also treasure maps, of course. So and they said decipher treasure maps. So I hope there's some clues. I hope it's not just like here's a map, go to this point, collect your loot. I hope there's some clues, like you have to kind of figure it out, and find where the treasure is. That would be so awesome to have to actually like solve like a treasure map, with clues and everything. I think of the Goonies right now. I'm just thinking about Willie's treasure. So I just want to solve a treasure map. And it would be even more fun is if you loot somebody or take somebody down and they have a treasure map, you can take their treasure map up to the point that they've deciphered already. That would be fucking awesome. I can't wait. This is going to be crazy.
Although all the content in Skull and Bones can be done solo, You might enjoy ruling the seas with your friends. While sailing, you can also easily invite other pirates you encounter to group up. Synergize your different playstyles, ships, and weapons to defeat deadlier enemies.
All right, a couple things. So first, we just got to look at kind of the invite, the way you're going to invite your friends. So while you're out, you can just invite your friends to kind of group up on you, probably bring them to your instance on your server, so you guys can group up, and that'll be definitely what me and some of the buddies do. Get a nice group of ships and just wreck everybody. I can't wait. And also we saw maybe some of the emotes that your ships can do in the form of fireworks, where they sent up those fireworks that created that skull. Might be kind of how you emote and things like that in this game.
As you grow stronger, take on more difficult challenges, such as attacking forts and plundering settlements. And if you're bold enough, engage in dynamic events, like taking down heavily laden merchant ships and their fleet of warship escorts.
So as you get leveled up, probably more towards the end-game things you can do is attack these forts and settlements. That's probably, like I said, like attacking a stronghold. It's kind of the end-game type. Probably the best rewards will be taking down some of these heavily fortified forts. It probably is going to take, more than, one player, like a team up effort, like what some games would do, like a stronghold or like maybe a raid or something like that. This is probably going to be their version of that, where you go and take down these forts, or also take down these fleets with these escorts of these badass ships that are going to be protecting it.
Now, it's up to you to write your own story. Remember, there is no one path to follow, no one way to play. The world of Skull and Bones is yours to discover.
And there it is. You see, it comes out November 8th. So yeah, this Skull and Bones looks pretty good. I'm kind of excited. I hope that there's still more that they haven't shown us here, because I want to see more. And I feel like they have said that they plan on supporting it with years of activities and content and everything. So this is most definitely a live service game, which is my bread and butter. I love live service games, huge fan of Destiny 2 and, things like that, that as long as they can keep up. And Ubisoft does a pretty good job with that. So I definitely can't wait to see on November 8th. And in the meantime, we'll be, we'll keep making videos about this game and see how it turns out. It's definitely on my radar. It's going to be something that we for sure check out. So yeah, so that's Skull and Bones, a Ubisoft original, coming out November 8th, so fall of this year. So yeah, well, thanks for stopping by. We're gonna we'll be talking some more about this, and also we got to talk about Arkham Knights, because I'm pretty excited about that game too. So we'll make a video about that, and we'll see what we're gonna be getting into this fall. All right, thanks for stopping by, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will be back with more videos to talk about what 2022 has in store for us.